Good evening. I want to thank all the people who are involved in getting us here this evening, but I also want to take a moment to reflect. 1 year ago tonight, we approached the week ahead, the day that we are on, with a sense of trepidation, of the fear of the unknown. That's right. It was tonight, Motzei Parshas Paro, 1 year ago, that we were up half the night trying to figure out what the next steps for our shul would be. 1 year ago tomorrow, we closed our building on the Sunday of Parshas HaChodesh. I remember that Mincha Marav so well. I remember the davening that went on in our building at that point in time. I remember the concerns that all of us had. I remember that beyond the physical concerns of the moment, what really plagued my mind, and I'm sure yours as well, was what was going to be. What would happen to our social lives? What would happen to our spiritual lives? What would be with the children? How were we going to be able to keep in touch? And I didn't realize at that time, but reflecting 1 year later, I am now quite aware that the message was right in front of us all the time. We'll read this coming Shabbos in the context of our reading of Parshas HaChodesh, that Hashem commanded Moshe Rabbeinu, Dabru el kol adas Yisrael lemor. Moshe Rabbeinu was told to speak to Adath Israel, to you and to me. And this is the first time in the context of our Torah that we find Adas Yisrael used as a context. And yet, the message was told not only that Moshe should speak, but Lamor, to get the people to speak as well. And what was he supposed to tell them? V'yikchu ish sela beis avos sela bayis. Moshe Rabbeinu was told to tell the people to get together and prepare a Karban Pesach that was going to be brought together, each man for his family, each person for his greater community. What was that a message for? Why did it have to be spoken to Adas Israel? And I believe the answer can be found in the writings of Rav Shlomo Wolbe, who points out that our Karban Pesach, indeed the message of the season we were in then, and the season we find ourselves in right now tonight, was a message of the understanding of the secret of Karban Pesach. For within the context of Karban Pesach, we find that we as a nation, we as a congregation, come together to recognize Hashem, to recognize that God is with us, and that He places His imprint, His hashgacha, on everything that happens in our world. And over the course of the last year, in the midst of all the trial and tribulation, we have seen constantly that our doctors, our scientists, our financial experts, our politicians, everyone else has wavered. But that's not the case when it comes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hinei lo yanum v'lo yishan shomer Yisrael. God never slumbered. God never slept. God was leading us the whole way as Adas Yisrael. And so we went at it alone together. Sela beis avos sela bayis, we moved back indoors. But we went ahead with our message, Lamor, with an understanding that we needed to keep going ahead, keeping those lines of communication going. The secret was Adas Yisrael Lamor. Am Yisrael, Adas Yisrael, our shul, continued to communicate. We communicated in Chesed, and we expanded our abilities. We communicated through our youth and the fantastic youth directors, Yoni and Alyssa. We increased our learning abilities, whether it be online, whether it be through our base medrash initiatives, and we partnered together with our dear friend Rabbi Rosenbaum. And initially, although behind the scenes of Zoom, and now thank God in all the different locations, we continued Lamor to speak in Tefillah. We connected in all the ways we had in the past, and we continue to do so now, albeit in a much safer manner. And as you'll see tonight, we had increased an additional 40 incredible programs in the context of the last year during the pandemic. Always thinking, Adas Yisrael. Always thinking, Kol Adas Yisrael Yasu Oso. We all have the ability and we all can. We just need to remember, Adas Yisrael Yasu. We can and we will. We found new people within our shul context who found new strengths to take a position of leadership. You came out to make our minyanim. You came out to join our chesed programs. You came out to check on your neighbors and to check on us as we checked on you. You made sure to bring us strength, and we in turn have all grown together. Our bracha then and our tefillah then continues to be our hope and prayer tonight. As this week we will also declare, Chazak, Chazak, we've all been strong, V'nis Chazek, and we've taken strength from it. Let's continue to go from strength to strength, from Chazak to Chazak, from Chayil el Chayil, as Kol Adas Yisrael, all of us together. My wife Tammy and I are so excited and so proud of all the incredible things we've been able to do as a shul and a community this year. And it's our hope and sincerest prayer that all of us together continue to do so as we go mechayil al chayil, strength to strength, for many good years to come.